Hello, friends. This is in reference to the theme of the play, a writer uh, about absurdity, in reference to the play Waiting for Godot. In this video, we are going to learn about few points, like we are going to learn about theater of absurd, characteristics of the plays, what absurdity is, right? Then the structural elements about Samuel Beckett's plays, and we are taking the reference of a play which is Waiting for Godot. So, in reference to that play, we'll try and understand the topic absurd in a easy way. So, basically, theater of absurd is a term which was coined by Martin Esslin. It was trend in theater during the 1950s and 1960s. It was originated the surrealist movement of 1930s basically. So this it showed that man's only protection is to laugh at the absurdity of his situation, since human life and efforts are illogical and language is inadequate of means of communication. So if I talk about this, like the main motive, which is shown in the play, which is shown in the plays of Samuel Beckett and some other writers also. So these themes, like illogical, language is inadequate, the human life is of no mean, right? So all these things are visible in these plays. So we'll get into it. So, theatre of absurd is a term coined by Martin Esslin. There are a number of playwrights belong to this school, although there has never been a formal movement. The playwriters Beckett is there, Edmove is there, Ionesco is there, Janet, and some other playwrights are also there. So they basically these plays, articulate Camus' belief that man lives in an absurd world where meaning is not provided. Cut off from religious root, man is lost and his actions becomes meaningless. So their work most sensitively mirrors and reflects the preoccupation and anxieties of issues plaguing the Western world. So basically, theatre of absurd renounces arguing about the absurdity of the human condition. It merely presents it in terms of concrete stage images. The lineage of theatre of absurd can be found in Roman mime plays. So 16th century Italian comedian Del Arte and 18th century nonsense verse. Origin also rooted in avant-garde and experimental theatre and surrealism and Dadaism. So the horrors of the war, which led to the belief in precariousness and absurdity of human life, also had an important influence. The concept of Homo absurdus is an old one, and to this was added the idea of purposelessness of human life and the destructive nature of time. So in these plays, logical construction is there. Argument gives way to irrational and illogical speeches, and the ultimate conclusion is silence. The plays are replete with comedy, tragedy, black humor, music, and circus hall routines combined with horrific or tragic images of characters caught in hopeless situation, forced to do repetitive and meaningless actions. So, as Eslin is of the opinion that there is no story, the plays are without recognizable characters and rather present the audience with mechanical puppets. They have no beginnings, no middle, no end. They are just like a reflection of dreams and nightmares. The dialogue is often incoherent and there is a complete breakdown of language. The dramatist of the absurd believe that language has lost its ability to communicate in a universe that seems to be drained of meaning. The laborious attempts at the explanation of philosophy or politics is mere chatter. So if I talk about Waiting for Godot as an absurd play, so the play explains a static situation without a narrative story, right? Like on a country road, the two tramps, Ladimir and Estragon, are waiting. That is the opening situation in Act 1. And at the end of Act 1, they are told that Godot will come the next day. The same situation is repeated in Act 2. So the consequence of events and dialogues in each act are different, yet similar. Each time the tramps come across the same character, Pozzo and Lucky, under different circumstances. There are leaves on the tree, but the difference also emphasizes the essential sameness of the situation. Beckett, throughout the play, leaves the reader and the audience in a suggestive interpretation without telling us what he means. For Beckett, the form, structure, and mood of an artistic treatment cannot be separated from its meaning. What is said is linked to the manner in which it is said. The idea can be applied to Waiting for Godot because about the playwright's anxiety about human condition and his despair at being unable to find the meanings. So, in Beckett's play, form and content merge with and they lack plot even more than other plays of theatre of absurd. As we can see, like there is no recognizable story in Waiting for Godot. There is no development, no suspense, nothing is there. All principles of dramatic conventions are flouted, and the tightly knitted plot where all the strands of the play are tied neatly into the intricate and satisfying pattern is far more ragged there. So the jokes, the story is left unfinished, information continually withheld, and events occurring with no seeming cause or connection. There is nothing, there is no connection at all with the images, with the text, with the story. Nothing is there, no themes, nothing, right? So by whom and why does Estragon get beaten every night? When did the two men make their appointment to see Godot? Or is this just a figment of their unreliable memory? Why does Godot beat one of the boys but not his brother? Why was one of the thieves Godot, not the other one? So why does Godot does not come? The play is about the author's perception of human condition. The form and the content has to be appreciated in its totality to understand the meaning of the play. As like Ladimir and Estragon, Pozzo and Lucky are mere cardboard characters to explain a certain human situation. So they are not even performing, right? So that's why here we are taking them as a cardboard like characters, right? Pozzo and Lucky are presented as two people from the world of time, whereas Didi and Gogo live in an atmosphere in which time barely moves forward and in which all values seem to be absent. Nothing is there. Disruption of time is there. Again, an essential feature of theatre of absurd. It is disruption of time is an essential feature. So human beings trying to kill time while waiting improvise activities. The notion of time is linked to the waiting of tramps. The play is replete with black humor. The antiques of the tramps are extremely funny, but the humor and horror go hand in hand. As we are aware of their anxiety, absurdity, and terrifying implications of waiting the existentialism, so the music hall, the circus routines are humorous. The repetitive quality of comedians' talk, the bowler hats, baggy pants, the ill-fitting shoes, it all shapes like a program on an announcement. Like now we say this, now we say that, now we'll fill up the time. Farce and comedy used to knock out all intellectual pretensions. So if we talk about the language, so there is a complete breakdown of language in Samuel Beckett's work. Beckett breaks with the dramatic tradition. Speech does not predict gesture or gesture, speech, physical actions have no relevance. Language operates to ignore them. Example, yes, let's go, which are followed in the word in the text by words, right? So they do not move, means they are planning to move but they are not moving. Yes, let's go, but they are not moving. So in this way, the orderly universe of utterance is disrupted and pulled. So Lucky's speech is an example of breakdown of language. It parodies philosophies and academies. His qua becomes a sound of nothingness. So it is a complete, image of nihilistic despair. So the repetition of dialogues, gestures, and stage directions are all in keeping with theatre of absurd and its characteristics. Repetition serves to emphasize upon the sameness and boredom of existence. Repetition in silence becomes a void that will suck the characters. Repetition of dialogue. The repetitive nature of the activities of the tramps is constantly emphasized upon refrains in their exchanges are also important. So Ladimir counters a shrub, Estragon insists a bush. There are many such poetic refrains throughout the play phrase. So I hope like this video will be helpful to the students. Um, and in my next video, I'll be covering up again the waiting for Godot, but on a different topic. Like we'll be covering it as a like Godot as an expression of universal condition. And so if you want like that idea of waiting, so this is an universal condition, right? So if you want me to cover up the next part, next topic, or if you want, you can suggest me some other topic, right, which can help you out for your coming syllabus. So please let me know, and if you like the video and if it is little bit helpful, so please like, share and subscribe so that I can get some motivation to give you a good handful of study material from my side. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.